Okay, well, I'm glad that we're recording this because this happens to be one of my favorite classes. Hey guys, my name is Jared Jarvis. I am here today with the lovely Leanne Mason, and this is a fantastic class that we love kind of introducing people to because for us, this is actually a topic that seems more and more needed in the world around us. As we all experience overwhelm, as we all experience the different tides of life, with things coming and going, there's opportunities to grow through all of that. And so today's topic is from blah to bliss. And we're going to kind of jump into this, and we've got some great information for you. Now, I know, Leanne, you just uploaded the document for people,
Yep.
and this is a great handout that has some wonderful information.
So, to start with, because we are recording, we are going to be compliant. We are not doctors. We cannot diagnose or treat. The information we share is for educational purposes. In the handout, because some of the information is from a dissertation, it does have the word seasonal affective disorder,
Mhm.
which is the blahs that we're going to refer to. And I linked to that dissertation and that dissertation explores non medical treatments for SAD or seasonal affective disorder. So I want to make sure you guys have that as a resource to you because great information. Also, there is great information um, on from one of our previous classes from supporting emotions with essential oils. We also have um, a calming anxious feelings presentation that doTERRA put together that is linked in there as well. So the resources of where some of this information came from is at the bottom of the handout this time. And so that's just kind of how we're going to roll. I'm going to double check our view because I'm just seeing Jared, but it's on speaker view. So hopefully it's recording whoever's talking. If not, Jared, just be aware you might be on camera all night. So when I want you guys to put in the chat, when when you fill the blahs, can you put a color to it? Can you put a feeling like heavy, dark? Can you put that? What does a blah mean to you? When I have the blahs, I just I don't have any energy. I want to curl up in a ball and do nothing or watch a movie. Just just kind of low energy, I guess is the way I can explain it, right? Um, so I love that. Gray turning black, looks blue, mostly black. Um, Space out to avoid, no energy, want to stay in bed. Great answers. So, we want to talk about ways to support us naturally to support us coming back to the bliss. And when we're talking about bliss, we're not talking about like um okay, 1 second, my screen just decided to do something fun and it made the chat super big and everybody else super small. So give me just a, there we go. So when we're talking about bliss, I don't want to oversell it. We want to be blissful where life is good, where we are in a state of well being, mind, body, and spirit, right? Not that we're like, woo, heads up in the clouds. It's realistic bliss. So, what does realistic bliss, when I say realistic bliss, what does that look like or feel like to you guys? Jared, I'm going to ask you while they're putting that in the comments.
Absolutely. So for me, when I'm thinking realistic bliss, I think the differences between happiness and joy. And I tend to lean more into happy as something that just kind of it tends to be more momentary. Where when I truly get to feeling joy, I feel like things are going the directions that I want them to in life, that I'm learning those lessons that are ultimately for my best good, that I'm progressing and making positive, meaningful changes in my life. And I guess when I'm thinking bliss, I'm thinking joy. I'm thinking things that are progressing as they ought, and even when they don't, that I'm open to learning those lessons that are going to take me in a positive direction.
Perfect, perfect. And I love some of the comments that are coming in. Yellow, bright, happy, warm, yellow, and orange, and peaceful, right? So, some of the natural ways that we can do that, and I know some of them feel difficult because of the weather, right? And for some of us, it's very cold. But the number one thing we can do is to increase our physical exercise. If you can get outdoors and do some of it, it's that much better because the natural sunlight can reduce those blahs, right? So the second thing is light exposure.
Mhm.
Now, nowadays, I don't know if you know this, but our um, windows are treated to block the UV rays. So even if you're sitting in front of a window, you're not getting the sun exposure that we once did. You know, I think of back in the day when I was growing up, it it doesn't uh, the windows aren't the same. I don't know about you guys, but they're just not the same. And they do that to help us with the UV rays and those causes. So even if you can walk outside for 5 minutes twice a day, and even if it's bitter cold, let the sunlight hit your face and the skin you can handle being exposed. Also, you can get lights that are sun lamps that they have shown do help that, but true sunlight is actually better for helping our circadian rhythms and improving mood. Now, I just realized I forgot to link to our omegas. The third one is dietary modifications. Eating rich or foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids can help with those sadness feelings. And healthy fats have shown in studies to improve mood. So, looking at your diet, making sure you've got good omega fatty acids in your diet. I love our new omegas. So, Jared, why don't you tell us a little bit about the omegas since I didn't put them in here?
Absolutely. Hey, so this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and just kind of going back for just a moment about what you were talking about. In nature, we see sounds have vibrations, and there's this cycle that goes. And she mentioned circadian rhythms. Again, we're talking cycles. Interestingly enough, light has vibrations or cycles that happen in those wavelengths of light, and that's why when we're talking about windows, it's definitely something that we see a difference because those windows are now blocking out some of those wavelengths that we would be receiving. Now when we're talking about different ways that we can be able to bring those things in, we can also look at our diet and the things that we're taking. And there's different qualities of this fish oil, of this omega product. And some of them are not going to have the full breadth of what we're looking for that's going to be able to nutritionally feed our bodies in a powerful way. And I think a lot of that has to do with chemicals that are in our environment, chemicals that are in our world, and I love that they have gone to extensive lengths to make sure that we're getting a fish oil that is so absolutely pure. And that purity is bringing through some of that additional ability that it can have to actually align with our bodies, align with the things that are going on, and have a profound impact that way. Now, I love that in that process of discovery and invention with that, they also said, hey, let's bind that with a happy oil. So that it's got our wild orange oil in there that is just amazing. Wild orange is one of the happiest oils that I personally use, and that is definitely one of those ones that just warms me. They fills me with joy. I feel, it's one of my happy places, and I love that I get to use that. But combining that fish oil with the wild orange just produces a profound impact. And I know we talked about this last week, but if you haven't tried this experiment yet, and you're leery maybe about trying a fish oil because you don't want to have kind of that fishy, burps or those types of experiences, this is completely different. And if you're willing to take the challenge and try it, I recommend this for people all the time. Grab one of our new E Omega Plus capsules, put it in your mouth, and bite it. Okay. And you will be pleasantly surprised at the texture, the flavor of everything to do with this E Omega product because it is delicious. It doesn't leave you with that fishy taste or burps or any of that. And you're getting this needed boost of having these omegas that are so good for heart health, for cognitive brain health. There are so many different pathways that this is vital to and beneficial for in our overall well-being.
Perfect. Okay, the next one is mindfulness and meditation. Now, when we talk about mindfulness, mindfulness is being aware. It's being, and so the next one also goes hand in hand with this, and that is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, again, these three just kind of go hand in hand with each other. Cognitive behavioral therapy focuses on changing negative thought patterns and to as a coping strategy, right? Mindfulness is being aware of your emotions and being able to regulate them. Meditation is a way to reset our bodies and our minds and our spirits altogether. And for those that are spiritual, meditation can be a way that their higher power speaks to them. So when those negative thoughts come up, if you can be mindful and think of three things you're grateful for, three things that you can see, three things that you can hear. And then if you take it at the next level, name one to three things you can smell. And then maybe one thing you can taste. One of my favorite things for that is I love having the beadlets. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Supermint, On Guard, Meta Power, peppermint beadlets, because when you're in that moment, aromatherapy helps change your thought process because it kind of jars you out. But if you pop one of these beadlets, you're not only getting aromatherapy, you're getting a taste sensation and a smell sensation, and it also goes into your body. And so it kind of helps with all three of the mindfulness, the meditation, and the cognitive behaviors. I'm going to pop a supermint beadlet right now. And then just breathe it in because it's already in your mouth. And when you breathe in, you actually can smell it. And so I want to take you guys through a little bit of a meditation. And this is one that you can come back to anytime you are feeling blah. Now I'm going to ask you before we start, I'm going to take you in and it will, I'm going to have you think of your favorite place. So that can be the beach, that can be the mountains. I prefer that favorite place to be somewhere outdoors, and you will understand why as I walk you through it. So, really quick, Joy says she still sometimes gets the fishy taste if she takes 3 pills of omegas in 3 hour period. Interesting. Okay, that is good feedback. And that's good to know. I have yet to have that experience. So that's good to know. And I will send that to my account manager. Good information. It's the first time I've heard that. So again, some people are more susceptible to certain things. I've even chewed them 3 times in one day just to see and never got that fishy flavor. So, all right. So I want you to close your eyes, get in a comfortable place. I want you to think of your favorite place to be. And as you're there, I want you to feel the sunlight beating down gently. It's not too hot, just enough to feel good and rejuvenating. I want you to breathe in the air. Smell that crisp, clean air. Let it wash over your body. As you're there in your favorite place, I want you to look around and see those things that make it your favorite place. It might be who you're with. It might be the trees. It might be the water. It might be any number of things that are joyful, blissful. I want you to experience all of your five senses. What are you feeling on your skin? What are you seeing with your eyes? What are you smelling with your nose? What are you tasting? What experiences are you having to bring that bliss? Now smile. And as you smile, you are telling your body that this is good. Everything you are seeing, everything you are feeling, everything is good. Now place both hands on your heart. Give your mind, body, and spirit gratitude. And take 3 deep breaths. Okay, is anyone brave enough to unmute and turn their cameras on and share what that experience was like? Okay, Jared, I'm going to call on you first.
Okay. So, having just been in Hawaii, I can tell you we got up every morning and went and sat on the beach and just listened to the ocean rolling in and enjoyed that beautiful, blissful, peaceful moment. And that for me took me right back to that experience that was just a week old, but it felt like I could hear the wind and hear the crashing of the waves and breathe. I mean, even the scent, the aroma of the ocean. I mean, it took me right back to that place, and also the gratitude that came from being in that place.
Awesome, perfect. Dana,
Oh, the exercise helped me feel calm. Been
perfect.
stressful lately and helped me to feel calm.
Is that something you feel like you can do that imagery for yourself?
Of course.
Perfect. So if you can find something that you can do that quickly when you're in that overwhelm, in that feelings of blah and sadness, it took less than 2 minutes to do that. So 2 minutes to reset your mind, body, and spirit. So the next piece, because you guys know we always got to talk about this, right? Is incorporating essential oils into your daily routine. If you start your day with one or more essential oils, I have a whole routine, then you can support your body that much more because you're giving it from the beginning of the day. You're giving it those uplifting mood oils, and it will help reduce some of the blah. So I only listed 5, but Oh, actually, I was going to list five. I listed more. I need to go change that on the handout. It says five, and I think I ended up listing eight. So it's all good. Jared already talked about wild orange. Um, Wild orange is known for its energizing and it gives you energy, but it also uplifts the mood and creates an invigorating atmosphere. So, first thing in the morning, I love putting wild orange on my solar plexus. And or not my solar plexus, sorry, my sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is below your belly button. That is your powerhouse for creativity and abundance. So I rub a little bit there and then I breathe it in and it's lovely. Now, lavender is renowned for its calming properties and reducing anxious feelings and promoting relaxation. Lavender for me is one that kind of puts me to sleep and relaxes me that way. So for me, I generally stay away from the lavender when I need to be up and moving. But that supports me being able to relax at night. Bergamot is another citrus oil. It is the oil of self acceptance, and it has many uplifting properties to help with mood. Peppermint is invigorating. Again, I think I've talked about this before. I love putting peppermint and orange in my hand, rubbing them together, and breathing them together to help reduce some of those stressful situations. Peppermint on its own can enhance mental clarity, provide a boost of energy, and it can help with some of those things that are associated with this time of year. I also, if anybody is interested, have some studies that have shown how peppermint oil supports performance in athletes and supports our body by opening up those airways and also opening up the cardiovascular system. Pretty cool stuff. Frankincense is also one of my go-tos in the morning, and it sits here on my desk. It has grounding properties, promotes peaceful, relaxing feelings, and is super beneficial when you're having those stressful or low moods. So I love that. The next one is the adaptive blend. And I keep the roller here on my desk because I use it often on the back of my neck and on my wrists to help me focus. It's designed specifically to promote emotional balance and to work. It's called adaptive because it adapts with our own body chemistry to help us with those emotional balances and reducing some of that tension in our bodies, and super good for helping me focus. Balance, I think you guys already know this, is my morning go-to on the bottom of my feet. So it is the grounding blend that fosters calming tranquility, stabilizes emotions, balances out everything for me. It balances out my emotions. It balances out my hormones. It helps me be more even. Now, I'm going to say this last one is not one of my favorite scents. So when I use it, I put it on the bottom of my feet. And that is ylang ylang. It's a floral, but to me, it smells nasty. It actually smells like urine to me. So it is not my favorite scent. I don't know why it does, but the chemical constituents promote healthy moods and reduces those feelings of sadness and promotes joy. Ylang ylang is one of those top oils used in perfumes and colognes because it promotes the feel good pheromones in the body, but just not my jam. Now, one of the other things that I was not in the article, the dissertation above, but is something that I know is a powerful tool for emotional well-being, and that is journaling, and especially mood journaling. It promotes emotional wellness of where you are throughout the day, and you don't have to do it nonstop. We actually had 2 units in our stress and coping skills class just on mood journaling. So I created, with the help of Eddie Villa, a mood journal to give you guys some ideas of different ways that you can track your mood. So you can download that journal through the handout. Journaling, one of the great things is it can release stress as you are putting it down on the paper, right? Just there's been some great studies showing getting the emotions out and away from your body is super beneficial. One way, if you don't want to keep it, if what you are feeling is too heavy, just get a blank piece of paper. And I want you to fold that piece of paper in half. So just down the middle. And on one side, and you can do it on whichever side you want. If you want to keep the hole punches, then put the negatives on this side. Write all the things that maybe you didn't like about your day, that were painful. Then just dump the negatives. And then write the positive things that happen, what you're grateful for. And then you're going to tear off that negative side. Now, if you're a spiritual person, pray. Ask God to take this from you as you rip it up. I don't want to feel this anymore. And get rid of it. Or send it through the shredder. If you're not a spiritual religious person, then just send it out into the universe as you rip it, shred it, and things like that. The destroying it is also a way to give you a safe outlet for releasing those emotions. So I love that form. We keep the positive, get rid of the negative. Mood journaling can help you identify and challenge the negative thoughts you are having. Is this me that's thinking it? Or is it an outside influence? One of the greatest things that I learned, in this was for my husband, is to actually listen to those thoughts. Are those thoughts saying I, or are those thoughts saying you? If those thoughts are saying you, they have been put there from an external source, whether it be something somebody said to you that you've taken on as truth, something you heard in media, because you don't refer to yourself as you. We refer to ourselves as I. We don't say our own name. So if your negative thoughts is your name with a description behind it, it's not you. So it helps you identify those as you're journaling. And you're like, oh, interesting. That's not me. I don't have to accept it as truth. By recording your emotions daily, you can also track your progress and see your growth over time. See if you're becoming more positive throughout the week. Or if you're dipping, it's an indication you might need additional support from a coach, a counselor, or a trusted friend. It helps you be accountable for your emotions. And many of us were taught to shove our emotions down, to not talk about them, not acknowledge them. Well, studies have shown that that actually can damage our physical bodies as well as our mental health. The next thing to do with a mood journal is to incorporate gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling, if you can think of at least 3 unique things every day. Now, you're going to come back to some of the similar things, but within a week, If you can find 3 to 5 things every day that you're grateful for that's different, you will be able to go back and see how blessed you are. And it can help shift your focus from the negative into positive by reflecting on what you're grateful for. Gratitude also increases resilience and improves your overall mood. By documenting your emotions, you're able to see earlier signs of emotional distress and respond to them before you've made a mountain out of a molehill. You're able to go, oh, I am being triggered. What's triggering me? And be able to regulate that better. Also, journaling supports communication. If you can get very clear on your emotions by writing them down, then it's a little bit easier to have those emotional discussions with others. What would it be like if more of us were able to actually discuss the way that we are feeling and being able to express can help us, even just the simple, um, this was really hard today. I don't need you to fix it. I just need to be able to express it, right? Being able to, I was taught a technique from from Landmark Education, and it was called clearing. What that is you find a trusted friend or a partner, a spouse, and you just say, I I need to get some stuff off my chest. It has nothing to do with you. I just need someone to listen and acknowledge how I'm feeling. And so first they know, I just need to clear. Is it a safe time and space to clear with you? And then you might just share. And I'm going to give you a hypothetical. It's just a hypothetical. The gentleman at the store today, he didn't hold the door open for me. And he watched me with all the things in my hands, and he just allowed the door to shut on me. And I just can't believe he was so rude. I just need to clear that off my chest. I took it personally. I shouldn't have. And the other person can just say, I got it. I can see that made you frustrated. Or they don't have to say anything, but just that being able to express it instead of, I shouldn't feel that way. I'm stupid for feeling that way. Just being able to go, this is how I feel. And I love it. My kids know that they can call and just say, I just need to vent for a minute. And I'm not meant to fix it. I'm just meant to listen and acknowledge where they are. So those are some of the keys and the tools that I have been using to help me get from blah to bliss. Jared, do you have any others?
I tend to anchor what I'm trying to feel in those moments. I look at the happiest moments of my life. And, while I was in Hawaii, I made sure to look at some of those experiences and anchor them with essential oils so that it would be something I could tie it back to those experiences. And that scent takes me back, just like the way that cinnamon takes me back to my childhood and smelling my mom making cinnamon rolls in the morning. It's a happy memory, and I tie a lot of things that way. But I've also found that there's some other ways that I have really found effective to be able to tie those things to happiness and to joy. And that revolves around acknowledgement, really taking a look at and acknowledging the things that are happening, the things, whether for good or bad, acknowledging and seeing them for what they are. I'm able to then better understand it. I'm able to better comprehend how this thing is happening, why it's happening, and what things I can learn from that experience. If I, just were to dismiss it and ignore it altogether, I may not be able to catch the message. I may miss some of that. And so that's always been something that's been helpful for me, is to step back and just kind of go, okay, let's understand a little bit bigger what's going on, so that it's something that in the grand scope, I can better understand those things that are going on. And then I tie the solutions back to those positive experiences. I feel happy when I find a solution. And it's not always having a solution in the moment, but knowing that I'm working towards something.
I love that. So that is a perfect segue, Jared. It's like we planned it, but we didn't. Those of you that have an essential oil with, I want you to pick one of two oils. I either want you to pick a citrus oil or a grounding oil, which would be like our trees um, and balance. And I want you to open the bottle. I actually have Citrus Bliss right here. I want you to open the bottle. I want you to smell that. Take that in, and I'm going to walk you through one last visualization. So once you've smelled the oil, I want you to get into a comfortable position. And I want you to see yourself standing tall in a meadow or a grassy field. And as you are there, I want you to see your feet growing roots and rooting you down deep into the earth. I want you to feel the stability that that grounding gives you. Then I want you to see you raise your hands high above your head, reaching to the sky. And I want you to see and feel yourself reaching into the clouds and into the sky and feeling the warmth of the sun as you are connected also to the heavens and the universe. And smell that oil rushing out through your fingertips and grabbing the light, the joy, the gratitude, the happiness, and pulling it down all through your body, all the way down through those roots that you have created, and that it's nourishing the earth through you, grounding you mind, body, and spirit. And I want you to see this figure 8 of circulation going through the body from the earth to the heavens, energizing your body, releasing the negativity, the sadness, the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the stress, all rushes out through your feet into the earth. And it brings joy all the way up through the top of your head, out through your fingertips as you release gratitude back into the universe, into the heavens. Now take 3 deep breaths. Bring your hands to your heart and lock that feeling of joy and grounding and healing in place in your heart chakra. Take 3 deep breaths and then open your eyes. All right. So that is our class tonight. So thank you for joining. I hope you found this helpful and beneficial. Jared, any last parting words before we turn off the recording?
No, not really. I mean, we love that you guys are here because it shows a real commitment to wanting to have things that you can learn, that you can progress in. And we love having you guys here for these classes because, we honor that dedication that you have to yourself and to that growth.
All right, we'll see you guys next time in class. We're going to stop the recording for any Q&As or final thoughts.